Self-confidence is contagious. It's something that every single one of us want for the most part, even if we don't realize that we want it. So in this video, I'm going to give you some major confidence hacks that's going to help you be super confident. And listen, it's not going to require you to become some guru or some self-care specialist, but these are real practical things that normal people like you and myself can do today. And if you stay to the end of this video, I'm going to give you one important tip that you can't miss out on. And if you don't follow all of these things, really it's three of them, but if you don't follow all of them, it won't work. Right? You really have to put it into practice. And one disclaimer before watching this is not a traditional route. This is not what the gurus are talking about. But this is something that I've seen work in my life and in the lives of people who followed this concept. So let's dive in. The first one, the number one way to grow your confidence, the number one way to grow your self-confidence is to take the focus off of yourself. And see, here's the truth. When you focus only on you, first of all, that's the most self-centered thing that you can do. A lot of people think that the people that are self-centered are the people that, they have all the money, they have all the success. No, that's not really true. I believe some of the most self-centered people are the people who think, oh, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And hear me when I say this, like, it's self-centered because you're taking all of the attention and all of the focus and you are putting it on you. And if that's you and you're listening today, I hope by the end of this video, you'll have some practical tips to really help you gain confidence and move further faster in your life. So the number one thing is take the focus off of yourself. What happens is if you're only looking at yourself, what's going to happen is you're going to realize that there are some imperfections. You're not a 20 out of 10. You're not going to have everything figured out. You're not as smart as you can be. And here's the truth. That is okay, right? We live in a society that's teaching people that they have to be perfect. No, I am not perfect. You are not perfect. You will never be perfect. But what you have to be is you have to be progressing, right? So take the focus off of yourself. Stop saying you're not good enough. Stop saying you're not worthy. Stop saying you don't have it. Take the focus off of yourself. And what happens is, and science will actually prove this, the more you focus on yourself, the less happy you are. I even thought about doing a video called Is Self-Care Selfish? Right? So focus not on yourself, but instead focus on how can you add value to people's lives. The most successful people, the most significant people, actually, I'm going to use that word, the most significant people. You can think of some people right now. Think of Martin Luther King. Think of Mother Teresa. Think of Jesus. Think of all of these different people who have made a significant impact on our society. Every single one of these people, they came not with the message to promote themselves, but they came with the message to promote or improve society as a whole. So they weren't focused on themselves. They were focused on how can they be a valuable person. And not even how can they be a valuable person, but how can they add value to people's lives? What can they do with what they have so you can see a movement take place in your life? Right? So taking the focus off of yourself. The most successful companies, they start off, if you think about Facebook, if you think about Apple, if you think about Google, if you think about Amazon, these people start these companies not first with the idea that, like, let me start a company that's going to make a whole bunch of money and make me rich. No, that's not really the intention. These people start these companies with, how can we improve the lives of everyday humans? How can people be more connected? See, they're starting with value. So what you have to do, and what I have done and the people who have listened to me have done, is they've grown their confidence not by trying to feel their way into confidence or trying to fake it until they make it. They've grown their confidence by taking the focus off of themselves and finding something that they can add value to. So how do you do that? Well, here's the truth. You've had some things that have happened to you in your life. You've had some things that you've been through. You've had this conflict that you have to confront. And see, the thing is, you might not have it all figured out, but you might be a little steps ahead of other people. Like, I don't have every single thing figured out about confidence, but I'm probably a little bit more steps ahead than you. So therefore, I am being a solution to a problem by providing this content. So you just have to ask yourself, how can you be a solution to a problem? And then what will happen is you will become a valuable person, not because you feel it, but because it's a reality that you live. So that's the first thing that you can do, is take the focus off of yourself. The second thing that you can do is don't be afraid to admit when you're wrong. See, here's what happens. The people who argue, the people who try to say a bunch of different things, or who try to always stand up for themselves in every single situation, part of the reason why they do that is because they feel like they're losing. They feel like there's something that they have to do, or else they're going to lose or they're going to fail, right? So the simple, and I know this can sound a little counterintuitive, but the simple hack of just admitting when you're wrong, it takes pressure. Because here's what you're really saying. You're saying is, I'm confident enough that I can be wrong and still be me, and still make moves, and still keep moving despite that I was wrong, right? In one sense, it's actually a way of not being afraid to fail, right? Just admit when you're wrong, right? It takes something off of you. That it's almost like it's divine, it's supernatural when you just admit that, okay, hey, I was wrong, and you just keep moving forward, right? The third thing that you can do is listen more than you speak, right? The people who are super confident, oftentimes, I'm talking about really confident, not just portraying an image of confidence. They say very few words, right? They don't have to go in very long tangents. They don't have to explain the world away, but they're confident in what they're saying, so they just have to say very few words. So what happens is, okay, if you want to grow your confidence, don't feel like you have to have a response to everything. Don't feel like you have to have every single word figured out. Listen. And as you listen to understand. And then you make your statement, and then you speak. Again, I know these sound, very easy, or there's no way that this can be true, but I guarantee you, if you can take the focus off of yourself, if you can be a person that you can stand up with your head held up high, and you can admit, hey, I was wrong, right? And then if you can listen more than you speak, what happens is you become a very contagious person to be around. People want to be around you. By doing those three things, people will want to be around you. And when people will want to be around you, there goes that feeling. Then you'll be confident. But your confidence won't be, again, from a feeling that you have. Your confidence will be a reality that you live. And here's the final bonus tip or bonus statement. You have to realize in your life that the only thing that you can control is yourself. What you do, what you say, how you act, and how you show up in the world. You can't control what other people do. You can only control what you do. So if you can control what you do, here's the three things you need to control. Again, taking the focus off of yourself, admitting when you're wrong, and listening more than you speak. If you can commit to make these moves, I guarantee you will see a movement take place in your life, and you will grow your confidence today.